I'm Rachel, the compliance manager at the Genomics Surveillance Unit at Wellcome Sanger Institute. So the GSU sequences samples all around the world, and our primary research area is malaria and COVID. So we have to get samples from pretty much everywhere, especially Africa. And there are various laws in the various countries that regulate how you get the samples, how you treat the samples, what of the benefits are fed back to the partners after the samples are sequenced. And that's where my job sits, understanding what the laws are and helping the partners in the respective countries navigate the difficulties of getting the contract signed, resolving those processes, and then helping the scientists here get the samples to do the good work. I love what I do, absolutely. It's nice to work with a team that contributes to something that is much bigger than you. I come from Nigeria originally, and we have the highest mortality rate in the world for malaria. And the GSU and Sanger does impressive malaria research, so it feels really good to be part of that. A typical day at Sanger Institute is lots of meetings, lots of emails, and when I'm not in meetings, I help with applications, review contracts, talk to the members of the legal and governance team, add international collaborators, and just everything that needs to be done to get the samples in good time. Interpersonal skills are very, very crucial, probably as important as my law degree in itself, and it's perhaps a skill I'm still learning. When I joined, I used to be really timid and very shy, but I sort of gotten over that and interact with people a lot more now, and it helps even outside the regular confines of work. So my interest in law goes back to an earlier interest in sciences in high school. So in high school, between 12 to age 14, I was very keen on pursuing medical sciences, but my biology was screaming A's. Neither was my chemistry. So I had some guidance at that time to think of the arts, because I was really good at literature. I spoke very nicely. I could read for extended periods, and just felt like law would be a great fit, and that was it. So I went ahead to go to law school, and it was very difficult. Very, very difficult. But I did not regret it at any point. It's always helpful. The skills are transferable regardless of what you choose to do. During the Sanger Institute, just tied back to an earlier interest in sciences, which I just assumed was a dead end I could not explore. Everything just came back to a nice full circle. So after a couple of months, I had a nice colleague who offered to show me around the lab and showed me the sciences, because I send messages randomly. What's this? What's dry blood spot, extracted DNA? And he showed me basics. He helped me understand what exactly I was referring to each time I worked on it in a legal document or an application. It was really helpful. But on a personal level, it felt full circle. My initial childish dreams come to life. In the future, I'm certainly going to stick to law and science. If your strengths are not necessarily in the sciences, as was my case, there are other ways to contribute to the sciences without necessarily going through that path. And you can do whatever you want to do through unconventional means. It always works out in the end. There is always a place for you.